Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Mind of Mando. I'm your host, Armando Ortega, and welcome back. How's everybody doing today? I'm talking a little softer because, as you can hear in the background, listen to this. Just some smooth jazz. Well, I'm gonna talk a little bit low, but I'm excited to announce this. Last episode I spoke about these speakers that I was currently waiting on and everything, and they arrived later that day. And hooked them up. Took some, fiddling here and there, trying to find out exactly how they're supposed to go. But in the end, I managed to do it. Let me fix the table real quick, a little closer. It's beautiful because I had to spend like $30 more than what the original speakers I was gonna get from the same brand, but I like these because they connect to my record player just like the other ones I was looking at. The only thing is this: those speakers, if I just have the speakers connected, not connected to anything, just connected to each other and plugged into an outlet, I can still put my Bluetooth from my phone or whatever device I want to those speakers, and it'll come out from those speakers. The old ones weren't able to do that. Like the other ones that I was looking at, they weren't able to do that. But just listen to the quality. Like, this is very low. This is very, very low. Around the same volume level that I would have left if it was just the Bluetooth through my record player. But just listen to it. Like, it's so clear and crisp and beautiful. So, ooh. For those, I hope a lot of you guys like jazz. Jazz is just like, it's just relaxing music. You can listen to jazz anywhere, but for me, it's more of the cliche times of day or night or situations that jazz just comes in the most, the best. It complements things very well. For those of you guys who don't know, this soundtrack, this jazz, it's a soundtrack. It comes from the Noire game made by Rockstar Games. Yep, Noire. I'm telling you, you guys need to really give that game a shot if you guys have not done it yet. That game, it's not like a GTA game. It's not an RDR game or anything. It's its own thing. It's its own genre, It's like, when you play it, if you guys ever play it, which I hope you guys do, you guys will be able to notice that the game has, like, you can tell, like, even if you had no idea who the developer was, you were able to tell that the game had elements from RDR and GTA by the animations, by the movement, by the controls, and all that stuff, The difference, though, is the storyline. The difference is the motivation of your character. The way the story carry itself, the themes, everything. And it's fun. It brings you to the opposite side of the law when it comes down to, Rockstar Games. And it fits very well. I said the other episode that when I was talking about L.A. Noire, that it is a game of its time. You're able to tell. It's not anything that it's revolutionary or anything like that. Maybe it was for when it came out. I think it came out in 2010, but it's like how do you say it? It, like, I don't know. It's good. It's really good and everything. I spoke about it in episode 3. Sorry, I was just checking when I last spoke about it. But and I can control the volume from this little remote. This thing actually came with its own remote. It's lit. So, anyways, something about me when I play this game is that I enjoy the fact that Rockstar Games, the developers and everything, that they looked at old photos, aerial views of Los Angeles around that time period, because this takes place back in 1947, about 2 years after the after World War II. And so you know things that were happening around 1940s, the Black Dahlia murder and everything, and it puts you in that setting. It puts you in that setting, and you're just really, it amplifies, truly amplifies how things were in the 1940s in Los Angeles, because it takes place in Los Angeles. Well, anyways, what I was saying before is the developers took an aerial view of all of Los Angeles, photos that they were able to find from that time period, and basing themselves on that, they based the map off of those photos. They recreated everything almost as exactly as they could, to be as accurate as possible for how it would look like if we were to look back at 1947 Los Angeles. And when I say they managed to, capture everything of how it was like back in the 1940s, I mean everything. Whether it comes down to prejudices, racism, stereotypes, when it comes down to jobs, when it comes down to mindsets, when it comes down to even corruption in the police force, in the government, in everything. It just shows you that back then, it wasn't just like, hey, sweetie, I'm going to work and you stay home and you clean for the kids or whatever. It shows you that times then and times that are happening now, in areas here and there haven't differed much, and it shows everything in a new light, and I like it. I really do like the story. The main character, Cole Phelps, how do you call it? He, the actor who portrays him, does a very great job. A very great job. And I'm sure you guys look on YouTube, you could find multiple gameplays of people just playing that game, because one of the most iconic systems, and it became one of the most iconic memes, is when Cole Phelps, back in the old 360 PS3 days when the game originally came out, when you were interrogating people, you had the choice of having three selections. For the Xbox, it was A, X, and B. A would mean truth, X would mean doubt, and B would mean lie. And you know how in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, when you're playing on the PC, one of the things that has you do is press F and everything like that to pay your respects. Well, and that's how that whole saying is like, hey, press F in the chats and everything like that. And people just start pressing F. It's because of that whole section in the beginning of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Well, here in LA Noire, they had press X to doubt, because that's what it was in the old version of the game. It was press X to doubt, but they remastered it and they changed it. So instead of truth, doubt, or lie, it's good cop, bad cop, and accuse, I believe. And accuse takes place, of doubt. Which you would think it was like, lie, but it's not. So, I have my AC on, so if you guys hear the AC in the background, just started right now. I'm giving it a little shot. I'm trying to kind of see if it sounds when I'm talking, when I render it and everything. Because if it doesn't, or you just can't really hear it, then I'm just gonna start leaving the AC on. Oh, another thing, I just don't have my pop filter on my mic today, so if it sounds a little different, I apologize. Just kind of experimenting. Also, I just didn't want to go through the hassle of putting it on. Thing is, my lady and I, we live in an apartment in the studio, and it's way bigger than our old place, so much more bigger. But I mean, it's still not big enough for me to have a section where I could just leave my mic and my stands and everything just set up for all time and everything. I have to constantly break down the podcasting arm, put away my mics, the cables, the power fountain, which, by the way, I need to buy a new power fountain because I think this one's kind of crapping out on me for a bit. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. That was the old system, True Light or True Light or Doubt. And how do you say it added something new to video games that I don't think has been replicated as of yet. You know, it's like it's something that hasn't appeared in other video games. Like, how many video games are out there that that make you take place of a cop, you know, of a detective? Not many. Not that I would think of or anything like that. I think Law and Order has a couple of video games, but they're like for your phone or just very not well made. You have Battlefield. You know, Hardline was it called, where you're supposed to be a cop there. It was all right. You know, I can see why people thought it was bad. But the suckish part is, like, I didn't really start playing Battlefield around the time. I started playing Battlefield more when a girl I used to go out with got me Battlefield 4 as a present. But when I didn't really, like, sit down and play Battlefield over and over and over and over again until Battlefield 1 came out. I don't know why people talk mess about it, but Battlefield 1 is still fun to me. I still play it from time to time. But Battlefield Hardline had potential. You know, think about it. Yeah, it's like, it's supposed to be war games and everything. But it's like Cops and Robbers, the games we used to play as kids and everything in the playground or in the backyard or at school or whatever, you know, just it being brought to a video game where you could actually just have all that stuff. You were criminals and the other side were cops and everything. It just sounded really fun. Give me a second. I'm about to take a drink. Hold on. Drinking water today. Nothing special. My lady made me this blueberry green tea last night. Oh my god. I don't know why we haven't been drinking it more often. That one was bomb from that brand Yogi. Still haven't got my Liquid Death, so that kind of sucks, but you know, whatever. Speaking about my lady, she's been trying to do more Uber Eats again and everything. And something about her is that she's bought so many bikes. Because, like, when we met, she used to ride her bike to and from work, you know? I mean, her house wasn't too far away, and a bike certainly did help. I did that trip on my skateboard, and to be honest, it's not really a bad trip. But, like, when we both moved in together to this super small apartment back in, like, the beginning of 2019, she couldn't keep her bike anymore. She wasn't going to keep it in her mom's place or anything like that. So she ended up having to sell it. Now that we lived in a bigger place and now that this place has like storage downstairs for bikes and everything, she's been wanting to get a bike so she can, you know, and now that she's doing Uber also, she can ride more on her free times, and she could also, how do you say it, go and, what's that word? Oh, do it during Uber. Which helps a lot because there's a lot of, especially in downtown, especially in the weekends, you can make a crap ton of money doing Uber, especially on a bike. Because here in downtown San Diego, now that baseball season started again and everything, that it's kind of loud. Let me. This one isn't really too good. Hold on. Pride of the Job Part 1. Let's try Part 2. Hopefully it's a little more chill. Yeah, it's a little more chill, I believe. So yeah, so especially since baseball season started, it's hard getting around in a car. And combine that with the whole, with two more things. One, that SDPD starts blocking off certain roads so drivers can't get through in order to direct traffic to or from the stadium, it causes a lot more traffic. And three, what was that? Yeah, three. The third thing, how do you say it? Gas prices raise up and just raise up like crazy, and you end up spending more gas, burning more gas when you're stuck in traffic. So it's like, it's a lose-lose type of thing. So she bought herself a bike. Like, this is probably like this is the fourth bike she bought herself. She had to return the other ones or sell them and everything. This is the fourth bike she got. She likes it. She likes it a lot. Thing is, she's thinking about returning it for like a more pedal bike that is also electric, because I faced this when I started skating again. Your legs are just not used to that type of, repeating motions, repeating movements and everything like that. Walking, yeah, you're always using your legs, but that's different than trying to pedal a bike. That's different than balancing yourself on one leg and kicking off with the other when you're skateboarding, It's different muscles are being used, different resistance, different powers, different everything. And the fact that you have to keep doing that at a constant pace, at a constant speed, in order to just keep moving forward. It's like, you don't think about it when you're younger. You don't think about it when you've been doing it for so long, because your body's just used to it. It's just like, you see other people like, like super tired and everything, and you're just there like, yeah, it's hot, I'm sweating, but I feel good. I've been doing this. And then like, you just stop for like 2 years, 3 years, and it's like, how was I ever able to do this? I remember when I started skateboarding again, it was more of I hadn't skated in, I want to say, 2 years and everything. And how do you call it? When I started skating again, it was just more of a balance thing and stuff. And also the constant kicking off and then putting my entire weight with my balance on one of my legs, because I skate regular, not goofy footed. And how do you say it? I remember after the first day, my legs were feeling gassed. They were feeling burnt. My muscles were contracting and I had cramps and it was just sore, and it stayed like that for like a week. And I was like, why does it do this? But that was because I hadn't skated in 2 years. I was pushing myself exactly how I used to skate when I used to skate every single day, without having, those muscles built up anymore. And that's why it just gassed me out like crazy. And that kind of happened to my lady. My suggestion is to just keep biking. Just keep doing it like little by little and everything. Those muscles will build up again. Sooner or later, it won't feel that way anymore. No more pain or anything like that. Hold on, I'm gonna adjust myself. Oi, kick the table. Ah. So yeah, it's like, it won't feel bad like that anymore, but it's she wants to get that electrical bike, which in the end of the day, it's her decision, but I'm happy that she's actually going around doing Uber on a bike now, because it's a lot easier. You don't spend gas, you don't have to like put a portion of your tips or anything like that into getting gas. You don't risk getting in a car accident really. And if you have the appropriate like protective gear, you have the appropriate lighting for your vehicle, for your bike, it's going to be really hard to, unless you're deliberately breaking traffic rules, it's going to be very hard to be at fault if anything bad happens, like a collision or anything. Speaking of collision, I remember in 2016 I had this motorized bicycle, this 2-stroke motorized bicycle, and how do you call it? I remember I was testing it out because I couldn't get it working for the life of me, and I was watching YouTube tutorials and everything. I bought it off this guy in PB when I like the first month or the second month when I moved down here, and finally I got the hang of it and it started working, and I was riding it and I loved it. The thing about it though was I remember I was riding that around the block from where I used to live, and there was a gas station in the corner of my block. So I was riding it on my side in the bike lane and everything like that, or what was supposed to be, considered the bike lane. And tell me why, as I was just like, riding, I was like, yeah, this is great. This is great. I can go to and from work in this thing. Tell me why this car, at least in San Francisco, I know when you're driving, you're taught to, before you make a right turn, even if you're on the right side of the lane and everything and you're in the right, to always check over your shoulder before you make that turn in case of bicyclists or anybody on a board or skating or whatever. I always understood why. I just never did it. And, but, never had an accident. This guy didn't do it. Because as I was nearing the corner so I can turn right and everything, this guy, I didn't see him have a blinker on or anything, so they could have been my fault. But at the same time, I mean, it is California. It is SoCal. People don't really use their blinkers for anything. So I wouldn't be entirely, out of line to say that he didn't turn on his blinker either. But he ended up taking a right just as I was hitting the corner. And I just slammed into his car. And I fell off my bike. I could tell that guy was more scared than mad or anything like that. I mean, I think he was surprised because when I stood up, I was like, "Is your car okay? Is your car okay?" and everything. And he was like, "Fuck, damn it, I keep cursing." He's like, "Forget the car." He was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine, and everything." And he was like, "Are you sure you don't need anything?" And I'm like, "I'm fine." I should have been like, "Yo, just give me money," but I was still a really nice person at that point. But like, just grabbed my bike and I got on, was able to start it again, and then just keep going. I miss that bike sometimes, but I'm glad I sold it. So anyways, some news happened and everything. I'm sure I was talking about something else and then just completely forgot about it. Some news happened. I don't know how long this podcast is gonna last. I don't think it's gonna last an hour or anything like that. But I'm kind of bummed, and I feel like this music fits appropriately. I forgot what episode it was. Let me see if I can find it. I always put like at least 3 things in the title of my videos, so you have an idea about the topics I'm gonna talk about in this one. I think the only one that I put only one of them was episode 5, where it's just the Force Unleashed, where I just talked about the Force Unleashed everything. Let me see. I think it was episode 3. I was talking about the topic of moving forward. I gotta re-listen again, but I'm pretty sure one of the things that I touched upon was the whole thing of the fact that in life, things happen. Whether in your life, in other people's lives, whether you knew them well, whether you either barely knew them at all, whether they were friends outside of work, or whether they're only work friends or acquaintances or coworkers, whatever you think about them. The thing is, damn, it's hella dramatic, that music. The thing is, it's like, how do you say it? You know what? Let me just start this soundtrack over again, because this thing is just like, all right, there we go. So, the thing is in real life, things keep moving forward. Events, works, people's minds, people's desires, life takes you to places you've probably grown up not thinking you were going to go to. The cool thing about life is that it's always unpredictable too. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, for me, like I said, for me, it was the whole moving from back home in SF down here to San Diego. It wasn't until the day that I had moved down here that I stepped foot in San Diego ever. Not once have I ever been to San Diego before then. And it was all new to me. It's safe to assume or it's safe to say that I had no idea what was going to happen to me when I was down here. I had no friends. I had no family. I only had the woman I moved down here with, and the money that I had saved up, and that was it. I had no idea what the bus lines were. Had no idea what public transportation was. Had no idea how huge this place was going to be until I started going places here and there when I moved down here. I had to learn stuff to the point where I've been driving around these streets so consistently for so many years that I feel like I know these roads by name better than I know the roads from back home. Although it's funny because last year when I took my lady back home, I probably only glanced at Google Maps like 2 or 3 times. That was it. Just to get to very specific locations. Other than that, when I was driving her around, I was just playing it by ear. I was just looking at roads and remembering what roads were where and what led to what and everything. And yeah, that's just how I did it. You know, subconsciously, I still know my way around in my old place, my old town. But this place, it's like I can tell you what streets are what. I can tell you what places are in what areas, what neighborhoods, what districts, what cities, and everything like that, because it's just I've been moving around through here a lot. Well, my time down here, the first 2.5 years were terrible and everything. I met a lot of people during that time, a lot of them that I still consider friends to this day, but it was difficult in my home life. Finally, I was able to move out of that. Once I met my lady, we moved in together, and even though it was very bumpy after that, I feel like we hit that point in our time together that everything's just like, you know, smoothing over, and it just really, it feels good, it feels great, it feels nice, it feels like I'm finally where I want to be at and everything, down here in San Diego. Along with that, I had people whom I met at places of employment that we've got along together very, very well. But, you know, because of their own lives, their own family, their own desires, their own pursuits and their own careers and everything like that, they moved on. Either they moved on to a different job, maybe they moved to a different house, or moved to a different state altogether, you know? And I said goodbye to a good amount of them. Still friends on Facebook and everything like that, but I said goodbye to a good amount of them. And they're doing great. From what I'm seeing, they're still doing incredible. They're happy where they're at. And I'm happy for them. Because I know that for me, I have my own goals. For me, I knew I wasn't going to be, or I'm not going to be staying in San Diego forever, you know? I mean, like, at this point, actively, I'm working hard to get myself back into the shape I used to be in, or even better, actually, because, you know, as you grow older, your body changes and everything like that. Mine happened to be, like, even when I lose a lot of weight that I need to lose, I'm still naturally going to be a broad man and everything, because that's just my genetics. I'm just naturally broad. I had this guy the other month ask me if I'm a power lifter and everything. The thing is, yeah, I lift weights, but I don't lift weights like that. I don't deadlift, I don't power lift, I don't do any of that stuff. It's just to get some repetitions in, and that's it. And I told him, like, no, I don't power lift, I don't lift weights like that and everything. And he was like, so this is just your natural body? And I was like, yeah. He was like, damn. I was like, yeah, no, I guess. But how do you call it? Oh, my bill, I gotta pay in like a week. So how do you call it? So yeah, so even if when I do drop to where I need to be or want to be, no, both need and want, I'm still going to be a naturally big person. The thing is, the reason I'm doing that is because I had a wake up call a few weeks ago, and I just knew that even though I am happy down here, even though I love that I have my lady, love that I have my cats, love that I have my friends, and I love that I have a job that not only pays me incredibly well, but is so close to where I live, I do find myself from time to time, and a lot yesterday, missing home, missing home a lot. And one of my goals was this: when I moved down here, and I started working the jobs I started working at, it woke up something in me that made me realize what I wanted to do in my life, or at least what I would love to do in my life. And that would be enforcement work, law enforcement and everything. I've worked closely with law enforcement when it came down to sheriffs and PD for different cities. And it was fun. My boy and I, me and him, took that step. I remember we were speaking about it one time, but we finally took that step in the end of 2020. 2019. This was like right before the pandemic started. 2019. And we got certified. And we became official fugitive recovery agents in the state of California, or also known as bounty hunters and everything. And it was a fun gig. And we wanted to do that because that's the type of work that we love to do. That's what we were good at. You can call us naturals. Just naturally capable of just doing that stuff. Being in that line of work with all those risks, with all those dangers and everything, we were good at it. We were natural at it. And we showed it more than once that we were more than capable of handling that type of stuff. This one time we got this guy in Compton. It was fun. It was really fun. Anyways, I could speak more of that in another episode, but continuing to my point, I remember back in 2018, I was trying to be SDPD. Didn't pass my PAT within the time allowed. I was 5 seconds over, which sucked, but I knew for me it was like either I need to drop more weight or I need to get stronger. I ended up getting stronger and everything. I was able to start clearing 6-foot walls like it was nothing at that point. Like it was insane how well I bettered myself and everything. But I never really decided to take the test again, which, sucked. I wish I did. Well, anyways, I just was doing recovery work, security work mainly. Became a supervisor at a company. And yeah, the thing is, some stuff happened a few weeks ago that made me realize, I really need to move forward. And it was only further solidified with what happened with my buddy. The one I always talk about, the one I always drink closely to the mic to just to bug him when he hears my stuff. I'm happy for him. It came abruptly. The fact that he has a huge opportunity to do something in his life, for him, for his family, for his wife, and everything. And I'm excited for him, and he's excited for it and everything. The thing is, he has to move to a different state to do so. It's kind of a bittersweet thing for him, mainly because it was like he's experiencing this for the first time as an adult, I believe, where he has to drop everything that he's known, that he's doing and everything like that, in the place where he essentially grew up in, and try and start over. Although he does have family he's can be with and everything, it's still going to be new. He has to move to a different state, but he understands that this is going to bring an incredible opportunity, an incredible chance in life to get ahead and stay ahead. And exciting for him. He talks about it now, and he's just downright excited. He has his plans. He's going to see how it's going to go, and he's just excited to do it. He says he's not going to move back to California, which I can't blame him. The type of guy that he is and everything, the things that he likes, the things that his hobbies and everything, is not something that is really a hot topic in California, considering how California is and everything. And plus, he wants the farm life. He wants the country life and everything. He wants to start a ranch. He wants to get rabbits and chickens and stuff, and it's that's incredible. Start his own stuff on the side. He finally is getting that opportunity to finally make that dream come true, and he's taking it, which everybody should. Everybody should. You get an opportunity in your life where you can finally put your foot in the door to whatever you've been wanting to do growing up, or you wanted to recently found out you wanted to do it. You got that chance, take it. But believe this, it's going to involve sacrifice. What sacrifices are those? I don't know. I could probably name some. Leaving your home, leaving your family behind. Well, not all family, if, whatever it is. But it's starting new, essentially, in a new place with new people. It's gonna be a hard time. Generally, it's gonna be a hard time. But you just keep pushing through it. That's what I did. You just got to keep pushing through it, because it eventually it does get better. This buddy is the one that I wanted to be in the podcast, but he's leaving in like a day or two. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen, because I also got work that I have to do in the afternoon. I'm actually going to have to leave to work in like a few minutes. But yeah. Hold on, let me drink some water real quick. Oh man, why is water so good? I swear. Excuse me. Just getting my my stuff from my there we go. I'm starting this over. So anyways, this is the opportunity that he has, and it's an opportunity that I'm happy that he took. So that was a bitter part. Well, that was a bittersweet part. Has to start new, but also gets help and knows and can see the goal. Can see the goal of what it's going to land him, what he's going to be working towards, and he's happy for it because he's reaching what he's been wanting for years. I mean, he was planning on moving out anyways. He just thought it was going to be years down the road, what do you call it? But, it happened unexpectedly. It's funny how it happened. One night, his power was acting weird. He called his mother. Mother called SD&E or whatever. SDG&E. Yeah, that's how they call it down here. And next day, I guess she tells his uncle. His uncle was like, hey, I got this opportunity. And then, like, next thing you know, the very next day, he's planning on leaving. And it was like, wow, what the hell? Well, anyways, we ended up that's part of the reason why we went out the other week too, just to see, like, kind of a goodbye kind of thing. But for me, it's gonna be difficult because I mean, like I said, I met a lot of people here that I care about and everything, but for my buddy, it's different. Like, he's pissed me off in the past before, and I'm sure I'm made him angry too. But it's just like, in the end of the day, I mean, well, yeah, I had my other friends that we hung out with, kicked it with, and everything outside of work. With him, it was different. It was kind of different because, like, one night we can be out getting drinks, Taco Tuesday or whatever. Next day, we're arresting people and everything who, like, were fighting against us at the shop with the trains. One day we can just be super lazy, sitting down, playing video games, pretending to be cowboys and stuff, cleaning our horses and what do you call it? I don't know, cooking at a campfire. And then the next day we're kicking down somebody's door and sweeping the rooms and everything with firearms out. It's like, how many other people I've done whom I've known like that? Zero. Like, absolutely zero. He was the only one. And it's like, you can't really replace that, You can't really replace that. So when I found out, yeah, I got bummed because I'm like, man, I hope this is a joke. But it wasn't. But, happy and everything, because like I said, it was a wake-up call for me. I knew what I want. I know what I want and everything in my life. I know what I want to do. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm good at and would love to make like a career for years. And one of them is, being in a uniform, being in enforcement, making contact, being in situations that not everybody can handle, because that's just who I am since I was a kid. That's just been the type of things that I've been good at. When it came down to being put in the front lines, essentially, it was something I did not say no to. And I know that I still won't say no to. So I remembered growing up, this is like right before people really, really hated cops. But I remember I had a few high school friends tell me that I had a good face for a cop. That I had that demeanor. I had that like energy and everything that to be a good cop. And they were telling me that. And I was like, what? I want to be part of SFPD, serve the community I grew up in. And then I was like, I want to be BART PD. BART PD goes throughout the Bay Area. And yeah, it's fun. And then I would think about it more. And I didn't think about it a lot until I moved down here, until I did the job for the trolleys, until I did all this other stuff and just thought about it. It's just like, I would love to be SFPD, driving around my city, just going different places and everything like that, just seeing things that even I haven't seen despite growing up there, and just experiencing new things. But I would also love to be BART PD because BART can go to more places besides just one city. Not only that, BART can also how do you say it? BART also basically has the same I have the experience that is required to understand how BART PD works rather than, a city cop and everything. And I feel like I can use my experience that I have now to be incredibly good at my job and everything. And how do you say it? I just thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I realized, you know what? I'm done. I'm done just sitting here working a security job. I'm done just sitting here wishing that all these experiences and all these enforcement work that I've been doing these past few years just laying dormant, just waiting to be used in a place that I know they will never be used. So that's when I made that goal. That's when I made that decision. I'm losing this weight before the end of this year. I'm going to do the writing test again for SFPD and BART PD. I'm going to try and do both PATs. And hopefully with my persistent and hard work, when I get there and everything, and I get through all the interviews, and hopefully I get the job and everything, the job offer gets, presented to me. I go to the academy, stack my money. I can stay at my friend's house or my family's house up there and finally get a place back home. And when I get a place back home, just have my lady pack and then move her up there with me, or come down here, pack up real quick, pack it up in the truck and move out here, because it's like, it's a huge thing. It's a huge deal. And then finally I get to be back home for, I don't know how long until we move again, probably. But yeah, no, that's my goal. And I just know doing that is going to make me happy and prosper and everything. And just meet one of the hugest goals I have met, have been wanting to meet for all these years. Anyways, so that's just what's been happening and everything like that. My buddy's moving out. I'm pushing myself to move forward so I can eventually move back home. And, down the road, me and him talked about this a lot. We're going to see each other again. It's not like when he's gone and I'm gone, we're just never going to speak for the rest of our lives. No, come on. We still have video games together. We still have, we've been going through all the Halo games lately. We've been, I just unlocked the Kabuto helmet from the Tenrai events for Halo Infinite. freaking, what do you call it? I want to live in the country and everything, you know? I would love to live in the country. I would love to, like, you know, just be able to, how do you say it? Wake up, do field work and stuff like that. That's just what I do. It's what I'd love to do, is the hard work. And yeah, but like I know that's not going to be here until like down the line somewhere. Down the line in the future, who knows? Maybe like a year from now, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. Maybe for just vacations. But that's just what I would think. And that's how I feel. He's a great guy, my buddy, and everything. Wish I was able to actually have him on the show, because, you know, I mean, if you guys enjoy what I'm talking about, you guys should hear the conversations me and him drunk, like, have together. And that's sober. I mean, like, if we do a conversation drinking, that's a different that's a different channel I'm gonna have to create for those combos. But yeah, that's what happening and everything like that. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention the other I think like 2 weeks ago or something, I actually I actually did a short, how do you call it, I was in a short role for this Narcos movie and everything. I was a narco, and you know, my the guy doing it and everything, he was like, "You want to be part of it? You only have 2 lines, but you're gonna get shot in the head almost immediately after." And I was like, "That's fine." You know, that's fine. I'll do it. And I did it. I was a little bit late for work, but not too much. But yeah, it was fun. It was incredibly fun. I mean, like, if I have the time, I'll edit the video in here for a bit. But it was a fun project to do. You know, it was a really fun thing that I finally got the chance to do. And like I said a few episodes back, I would love to act and everything like that. And that was just a short little taste of what it was, or what it's like to be, you know, an actor. But yeah, honestly, really don't have anything else to speak about at this point in time. I know there's a lot of things happening in the news, a lot of things happening in like celebrities' lives or in YouTube drama or whatever, but like I kind of wanted to keep this episode a little grounded today. Not worried about, you know, these millionaire, billionaire celebrities or famous people or whatever, but just focus on lives. Focus on the things that everyday people go through, you know? And yeah, just that's just what it is and everything. And I just hope you guys, you know, enjoy listening to this type of stuff. I do, you know. Oh yeah, my lady and I think, was it Thursday? Was it Thursday? Yeah, it was Thursday night. So it was about like 3-4 days ago. We went to go see All That Remains. I remember I talked to you guys about that in the last episode. All That Remains. So excited. Loved. They played the entire album from back to front, from the ending to the beginning, but then they played other songs. It was just incredibly fun, incredibly, like, you know, enjoyable and stuff. And my lady, she was like, "Hey, you know, I kind of want to go see Chelsea Grin again." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know," because we saw Chelsea Grin when they opened up for Whitechapel. It was Chelsea Grin, Oceano, and Slaughter Prevail. And that was also Whitechapel's 10-year anniversary. I think I spoke about this a few episodes back. But how do you say it? It was funny, because the very next day I was just looking at my phone, and next thing you know, at the House of Blues, downtown San Diego, Dying Fetus is gonna be making their appearance, playing a concert and everything, and Chelsea Grin is one of their openers. So I locked in my tickets for me and her, and come May, we're gonna watch Chelsea Grin and Dying Fetus. It's gonna be amazing. But yeah, all right, guys, thank you very much for lending me your ears for this 49-minute, 50-minute, whatever, how long it's going to be, podcast. I'm sorry it's not as long as the other ones, but, you know, work and editing and all that stuff. But thank you guys. Just let you guys know that I always enjoy when you tune in and listen to what I say and everything. And just to kill time, maybe just because you want to listen to stuff, white noise, I don't care, honestly. But thank you very much. just, be sure that I'll be back with the next episode of the Mind of Mando. I was your host, Armando Ortega, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.